We're back with Oliver Sloup of Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, we had a pretty good run on the cash cattle market last week, gaining at least a couple of bucks in the value. And let's look at our futures trade here this morning. On the live cattle board first, our quotes provided by bar chart aren't showing much movement at all. December is down one tick, 2.5 cents lower at 137.65. February up 17 cents is all at 139.12. So kind of a sleepy market here in the live cattle trade. On the feeder side, you've got January down 87 cents. You have the March down $1 even at 166.10, and that's even with a weaker corn market. The lean hog trade today, we have the December and February both over $1 lower. February now down 175 at 79.75. So interesting that we have so much pressure here on the feeder cattle market and also on the lean hogs today. What's going on with the hogs to weigh on them so much?
Yeah, I mean, we had a huge move higher on Thursday, and then we sold off, gave a little bit of that back on Friday, and you're seeing some follow-through liquidation here in the early morning trade. I still am a little bit more upbeat on the lean hog market, but we want to be able to defend last week's lows near that 78 and a half. If that gives way, we could really start to see some long liquidation and the selling accelerate, potentially taking us back towards the low end of the range, all the way down at that 75 handle. Now, the feeder cattle you had mentioned also seeing a little bit of weakness, which is a little surprising. You'd think with corn pulling back a little bit, that might offer a little bit more of a tailwind in the feeder cattle market. We're not seeing that yet, but I'm still hopeful that we can hold some of these levels, 162 and a half, 163 for that March contract. That's where we broke out of at the end of November, and we need to defend that going forward. A break and close below there will neutralize our bullish bias, but until that happens, we think there's a good risk-reward trade here in the very near term.
Thanks for the information, Oliver. Always good to hear from you, Oliver Sloup of Blue Line Futures.